Hi everyone, thank you for joining me once again. Today we're going to talk about a very special star. We're going to talk about the planet of Venus. In Jewish mysticism, Venus is a very special planet, a very special star. We refer to this as Noga, and the thing is that Venus stands among many stars that were created when the world was created. And when those planets, where those stars were created, they were wrapped up in this shell, in klipa. And some of those klipot, those shells, they fell into creation. And though they actually carried some things that were not exactly positive, they became part of creation. Since they are present here and they are very complicated, we need to work with them and try to fix them in order to fix creation and to make it better. But not all shells are the same. The shell of Venus is complicated because it stands in the middle. It's not exactly bad, and it's not entirely good. It's complicated. It represents the choices that we are making. In Venus, or in the shell of Venus, you can find a lot of forces that are different. Some say they contradict, and some say that they complete each other. Light and darkness, chaos and creation. And they also say that many different supernatural beings are living either in this shell or on Venus, not necessarily physically, but metaphorically or spiritually. They're connected to it. You can find either angels or demons. You can find the Shekinah or Lilith. You can find Asmodeus, and also it depends on the entity itself. It could be half good and half bad, like Asmodeus, that has many meanings. And this teaches us something very interesting. First of all, in order to have one thing, you also need to have the other. If you want light, you need to know the meaning of darkness. You can be either very loving and caring, or you can be a warrior. They also tell us about ancient serpents that live in this shell or in this sphere or the planet. Some could be connected to Lilith and even Lilith herself. These are gigantic primordial serpents that stand between the world of spirit and this physical world. And if our world is not worthy of divine blessing, the serpent will mark the line. It will stand as a border between the spiritual world and our world, because we need to be worthy and we need to make choices. We have different qualities within those spheres that we can choose from. Do we want to work as warriors, or do we want to become very loving? And maybe sometimes we need this one or the other. Maybe sometimes you need both. And the fact that all these different forces and all of these different beings, they coexist together in this place, tells us that creation is based on many things. They say that when the Shekinah needs to come to our world and bring flourishment and bring good things, she needs to pass through Venus, through the shell of Venus, so she can become something more physical, so she can descend to our world. On the other hand, some say that Asmodeus and Lilith were created in Venus or in the shell of Venus, or maybe you can find their essence there. You can choose who you want to be. You can choose which quality you need in different days. This planet has dual meanings. It has been like that since very early days. When people saw Venus rising right after sunset and before the sunrise, they thought it appears twice in the sky because it has dual meanings. And this is why from very early days it was connected to many goddesses that held those qualities together. Ishtar, Astaroth, Inanna, all of those, okay? Venus, Aphrodite, they could have been very loving and beautiful and caring, and they could also be goddesses of war and rage and chaos. Those characters were complicated. Those women had many layers. Creation has different layers. Venus teaches us an important lesson about who you choose to be, which powers and qualities you need right now in your life in order to do something. And how is it possible to be a person within creation that holds all of those forces together? Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.